Good evening.
All right.
Good evening.
Hi, Jonathan.
Good evening, everybody. It's 7 o'clock. It's February 16th. This is the Sherborn Zoning Board of Appeals. A couple of minor items of other business before we jump into things, but it won't take long. Minutes. We all approved minutes. Jeannie, I'm going to hereby move that we authorize and direct Jeannie to post them in her inimitable sweet time. So that's my motion.
Second.
Well, I second that.
All right. All in favor of Jeannie posting the minutes? Aye. Novak votes aye.
Stefik votes aye.
Fitch, aye.
With a dog with a woof as well.
Yeah. Wing votes aye.
Okay. Opposed, nay. There are none of those. All right. My other new business item is I want to report to you, gents, on what I've been doing with the Board of Health and basements at the fields of Sherborn and basements at the at 59 North Main Street, because there's been, I guess, confusion or a kerfuffle or something like that. I think where we are settling out on all of those is that those basements be treated like basements or additional rooms in any other house. If you're up against your septic limit, you can't add another bedroom. And all of those units and all of those developments are up against their septic limit because the septic limits are baked into their permits. So what the zoning enforcement officer has been doing is, if they're just finishing off an open game room, fine, it's a game room. But things that look and act and smell like they might be another bedroom, doors, closets, the usual sneaky bedroom stuff, they're probably going to kick to the Board of Health, and the Board of Health, if they think it's a bedroom, they'll kick it to us, because we are the Board of Health for those projects. So I'm hoping it'll be fine, but we might hear from somebody on that. If you guys disagree with what I'm doing, we can mark it up and take it up for another meeting. But reading the body language, it sounds like I'm at least close to being on the right page.
It sounds perfect to me.
All right, thank you very much.
Yes, I agree. We're very clear about the number of bedrooms permitted, and we've taken every effort to have that information recorded and disclosed, and everybody knows.
Absolutely, but human nature is what it is, and somebody's broker tells them they'll get more money when they resell it if they have a wink bedroom room in the basement that happens to be used as another bedroom, and they try to do it. So okay, enough about that. Let's go on to our petitions. 2022-1, continuation of a petition for Arthur Nagarian for signage at 11 South Main Street. Arthur, are you here, or Brendan Donovan, are you here to present?
Yes.
All right. I think you were coming back to us with a new sign plan. You have the floor.
So basically what we did is just leaving a window lettering and took out the main sign from the building. So it's just going to be window lettering as a one sign.
Right. And Brendan, can you put that up on screen? Because I think I saw what you submitted. Looks like you'd cut it up into a bunch of pieces and gotten it under 60 square feet total. Brendan?
Yeah. Yes. Give me 1 second. Let me see if I can pull it up.
If not, I can try to pull it up. I bet you're faster.
Let's see.
Could you gentlemen, while we're waiting, get a chance to look at it and the submitted materials that Jeannie had sent around?
Yes, I did. Mm-hmm.
Me too.
Just, I'm looking for where I can share my screen.
At the
Do you know where
bottom,
that
Brendan?
setting is? Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
Right. And then you were just going to distribute those around. Are they all going to be in the front or or some of them on the front and on the side, or?
There's
So-
another.
I see.
There.
As we discussed last time, it is just one continuous band that goes across the front, those 4 sets of glass, and then continues along the side.
Mhm.
But in the revised version, it's under 60 square feet.
Yeah, it's 56.8.
All right. And you'd like us to approve that. I bet that's the ask.
Yeah, based on the last meeting, that's what we were hoping for.
Okay.
Mhm.
Anyone here from the public to comment on the signs? Comments, questions, anything from the public? All right. Comments, questions, anything from board members on the revised sign?
My comments would be that if you took the elements individually, the circular ones and the band, the circular ones really do function as you would expect a building sign to function. I mean, they sort of identify the name of the place. The band is almost somewhere between a sign and a kind of a design element. So I'm willing to accept the fact that, there are several places where these bands occur, but the major building sign is only in one location. Does that make any sense to anybody?
Yeah.
I think so. I think you're saying on the whole, you're willing to go along with it?
Yes.
Okay. And so long as it stays under 60 square feet total, and this 12622 version is what's under 60 square feet. Is that correct, Brendan?
Yeah.
Yes, that's
Okay,
correct.
got it. Okay. Mr. Fitch, thoughts?
Well, I'm very interested and glad that Ron mentioned that some of the sign does have a non-sign kind of quality. He referred to design elements, and that's what I was trying to figure out. Is that really a sign? Or is it something different that says beer, cheese, nuts, etc.? So I mean, I think it's fine. After the last hearing, I went into the store, and it's a very nice new store for us to have downtown, and I think that this signage is tasteful, and hopefully it can be read from the street. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm in the same position. I compliment the applicant and his design team for trying to come up with something that works for them and also works with our bylaw, which is admittedly a bit clunky. Nobody on the board wrote it. We're just charged with administering it.
Yeah, we don't love the bylaw.
I'd entertain a motion to approve the signage plan as revised January 26, 2022, if anybody felt so inclined to so move.
I'll make an attempt. I move that we approve the application for a special permit for a building sign at 11 South Main Street in accordance with the Sherborn bylaw section 5.2.7. And I need some help on determining what period of time it would be in effect.
I think Jeannie, help me out. Signage special permits, are they for 5 years?
It goes along, it should go along with the special permit for the business, which was 5
Right.
years.
Right.
Okay, well then, to finish it then, this special permit would be in effect for a period of 5 years.
Do you want it to be in effect for the expiration date of the business that he got the special permit for back, I think, in
Yeah.
November?
Yeah,
Yeah,
let
we
me
should
offer
do that.
a friendly amendment that it be coterminous with the
Okay.
previously granted special permit to operate the business. Then it'll all cycle through at the same time and you can get back once. And I'd further offer a friendly amendment that the plan to be as shown on the revised plans, January 26, 2022. And with that friendly amendment, I'd second the motion. Further thoughts, discussion, board members?
Nope.
No, I'm in favor of that. That motion.
right.
is good.
All in favor, say aye. No back votes, aye.
Stefan, aye.
Fitch, aye.
Opposed, none, carries 3-0. Arthur, thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Brendan, thank you. We hope your business is a big success.
Thank you.
And
Yeah.
now you can get out of here and go do something more productive than spend time with us.
Thank you so much.
Hard as that is to imagine.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. All right, next up, petition number 2022-2, petition of Robert Carrero for a variance under 4.2 to construct an addition to pre-existing non-conforming structure 25 North Main Street, Business G District, also known as Steve the Bike Guy. Do you want me to put up your plan, sir? Can you put it up?
I'm not too, I cannot put it up. Jeannie, I think, has a copy of the front elevation and also the plot plan. When I
Right,
say
tell you
plot
what,
plan,
why don't you describe what you want to the board members and I'll find the plan and I'll try to put it up while I'm listening to you.
okay. We have a structure that has become insufficient from an operating standpoint for the tenant. He wishes a building to be constructed as you're looking from the street to the right of the existing structure. The site is of the new building or new addition is set by the location of the septic. So it's set forward of the septic system, and that unfortunately decreases the distance from the front lot line from 60 feet down to 55.4 inches. So there's a 4 foot difference that we would seek a variance on. Did I answer your question?
I think you did. I'm trying to give me a moment to try to get the plan up because I think that's going to be helpful to everyone. Can you tell us why the proposed addition has to be exactly 20 by 20? Because it's the 20-foot depth that intrudes into the required setback by 4 or 5 feet. Why
Yes.
can't it be 20? Why can't it be 20 by 16?
We've addressed that issue with Robert Conkey, who is our builder, and because due to the framing, I think the framing structure, this would be the selected option. I even tried to expand it, but that wouldn't work, he said. Tried to make a few other options and that won't work. But a professional answer to your question, I cannot give you other than the response from the builder that this is the optimum size for the construction of 400 feet. Needless to say, it would be set back a little bit if we could set it closer to the septic, but that's not allowable. So that's what I can tell you and what I know.
Okay, and now I think I can put up the plan, so give me a
Oh,
moment
good.
here. This full screen, share my screen, that one. All right. Hopefully you all see the overhead.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Okay, so with all due respect to your builder, I've spent 40 years in the real estate business. And if he wants to come explain to me why he couldn't possibly build a 16 by 20, I'd like to hear it, but he should expect a pretty rough evening because he can.
You know, it seems
Um,
to me that whatever you want to build there, you probably could make whatever changes and use whatever
Right.
structural. However, I think the idea behind it is to try to satisfy the need for our tenant. Steve burnt the truck, the bike guy.
The bike guy, right.
Yes.
And my own reaction is I support him as well, but unfortunately by statute, we're not allowed to give out variances because it's convenient to the builder.
Oh, I can understand that. You're looking at
Um,
specific fact. And I think the rationale behind this is that it doesn't interfere with anything. It doesn't interfere with the parking. It doesn't interfere with the normal flow. And yet it satisfies the need for the additional space by the bike guy. There was also a thought that we could build it someplace else, for instance, in back of the building. But this is the desirable location from a marketing standpoint and visual standpoint. Reducing the size, obviously making available less square footage to him. And I'm sure that if that had to be, it would have to be. But then then it raises the question about how much space, less space is made available to him. And that becomes not so much as a desirable alternative.
Well,
we do know that he is amenable to the 400 square feet that we currently propose.
and why, again, not to be a pest, but unfortunately it's my job. Why can't he hit the 400 feet by simply moving this wall here over and this one back?
I suppose that's possible, but you can become closer to the parking lot and the flow of traffic as you're looking at the plan,
Yep.
just to the right of that. You see,
Right.
the entrance to that addition is on the right. That is correct.
Gonna come in
right,
from this side, you hope, right?
that
Yeah.
is correct. So there will be an entrance there, and that's going to moving it to the right a little bit more does maybe raise the question of how it's going to interfere, if at all, to the flow of cars.
Right, in this area.
That is correct.
Mhm.
Yep, understood.
If
Understood.
anything, I'd like to maintain as much grass as possible. But it may lead to maybe looking at another alternative. I don't know.
Right. Other board members, how do you feel about this? I mean, he's not coming closer to the street than here. And I think we'd agree that if these buildings were connected, but of course they're not, we might be able to use our minor exacerbation rule or under 1.4.7. But it seems to me that since they're separate buildings, we can't. And it seems to me, I want to hear what you guys say, but it looks to me like it's a straight variance, and I don't think it meets the standard. But
okay,
Brendan,
well,
what do you think?
I think it would set an unfavorable precedent for us. And I just think that, I'd like to see the applicant make some attempt to accommodate to designing something within the existing zoning bylaws.
Jonathan?
If that be your decision, we will try to do that.
Well, we're still talking, so just
Yep.
keep listening.
I might have a minority view here. I'm just looking at, the required findings we need to grant a variance, which would include that the literal enforcement would involve a substantial hardship, financial or otherwise, to the applicant. And so to me, that goes to the question of the economic viability of the existing business and what they need to be viable economically. And if it's required to have this addition to eliminate the possibility of a financial hardship, then would this addition be substantially detrimental to the public good, or nullify or substantially derogate the intent and purpose of the bylaw? I don't know. I know that we do not generally grant variances, and I'm not familiar with what is really available if you were to limit it to 20 by 16 and push it further towards 27. Maybe we should ask for an explanation of why we can't see a plan that does comport with the literal terms of the bylaw and meets the needs of the tenant to have a financially viable business, which is good for our downtown.
Right.
I never understood how the bike guy had a business there, frankly.
Right,
So-
right. And that kind of cuts both ways. He has been running in the smaller space, although it may have been inconvenient for him. He does seem to be a credit to the community, the bike guy, and therefore we want to try to work with this landlord to accommodate him. I'm sure that there isn't a long list of tenants looking to get into that building and beating down your door every day saying, wow, kick out the bike guy because I'm going to put in something fabulous there. I bet that's not happening, right?
That is correct.
Yeah, of course. But like Ron, I'm very troubled because the precursor we're supposed to have a variance, and we're not supposed to give them, is something unique about the shape of the lot, its size, its proportions, or its soils. And in point of fact, there's nothing at all unusual about this lot. It's a box. It's just that the septic system, which nobody wants to make you move the septic system, but the septic system has to be there. And the argument essentially boils down to, this is the only convenient to me direction to expand. And everyone who wants a variance makes that argument. And which is why we're quite reticent to simply say, well, it would be more convenient for you. You know, is it going to be a substantial detriment to the neighborhood? I doubt it. Other buildings on 27 are much closer because they're old and it's a packed in area. I'm not sure of the hardship involved in losing 4.5 feet by 20, 80 square feet, where maybe I'd really like to see a design where he gets his 400 feet by moving that if he moves this wall 5 to 6 feet, the same 6.4 feet that's here can go here.
Yes, as I say, if the further you move it to the right, that reduces more of the grass and comes closer to the flow of traffic. The traffic is generally, the flow of motor vehicles is generally counterclockwise. So they would come around the back of the existing building number 27 and come down vertically on the south side of that building. And right now there's some nice grass there, and the driveway is wide enough. The parking lot is wide enough. And there are some areas there for parking spaces also. So I'm not too sure, we're heading into that area, and it just makes it a little bit tighter. And my own feeling is, if it had to be, we would make it happen, but I'm not too sure it would be desirable to have it a little tighter. The greater, the more space, the better.
I just might jump in and make a comment here that generally, if you just take your last statement, that you could make it work, but that it would be better to do it this way. That is generally not a criteria for us to really approve a variance.
I understand. Oops.
Oh,
Good.
Do I now have a better picture up?
Yeah.
Thought that might help.
Yes. If you can see the two cars that are parked, and just in front of those cars would be the construction of the building. And notice where the flow of traffic would be coming from about 12 o'clock down to about 4 o'clock. And
Right. But if these are 8-foot spaces, let's say, there's room for 24 feet before you even get into this travel lane at all, because right now there's a parking space in it.
Yeah.
So you might be able to go like this.
Yeah, that's correct. That's the structure that you just outlined, the proposed
And
structure.
then, but see, I was holding the front line that you have. And actually, the advantage of that design, I'm not a design guy, Ron, I'll be the first one to tell you that, is you keep the parking spaces.
Oh, I understand what you're saying.
Make it 20, instead of 20 by 20, make it 24 by 20. You won't get any closer to your septic system back here.
Yeah.
And we would lose the grass, but I think. Go ahead,
I'm with you, Rick. I think there are design opportunities that have not been explored, and I'm very reluctant to go along with a variance request based on this situation.
And you think it could be, as you had suggested, moving it out to maybe 24 feet or something like that, and
Sure.
backing off on the
Right.
the frontage. In other words, back the
Right.
frontage off so that it would maintain the front line. Well, I can explore that with the people that designed it.
Right.
Okay.
So essentially, if I've done the sharing right, pull this back, push this out. Your tenant gets the same amount of space. I know your builder may not be happy, but and my suggestion to our group tonight is that maybe we just continue the hearing so that the landlord doesn't have a turn down and his hands aren't tied.
Yeah.
And then he can come back next time with what he'd like to propose, which maybe he won't need a variance at all.
That's possible. That's possible. But let's kick it back to my powers to be when it comes to design and see where we go.
All right, that'd be great. We appreciate your trying to work with us. We
Yeah.
hope you realize we're trying to work with you, but we too have some handcuffs in the form of a statute.
I fully understand. Yeah, I fully understand that. Okay, I appreciate your efforts.
All right, so I'm going to move that we continue 2022-2 to next time to allow the applicant a chance to further examine the design and whether there are other options that could work. That's my motion.
Let me ask a question, please.
Please.
Do I have to go through GLM engineering to redo this to reflect the revised dimensions of the addition?
I don't think so. That's really between you and the zoning enforcement officer, what level of survey plan he needs you to have to come into us. I imagine what you could do is probably have a plan done or modification made that showed where the new building is going to be, then get our blessing or at least our sign off that you don't need anything from us, and then you'll need to go back to the engineers and have them redraw things, because when they're actually building, of course, they'll need, the zoning enforcement officer will need a real plan that shows what the setback is, et cetera. But you might not need that for next time.
I understand. Okay.
Did that fairly answer your question?
Yes, it does.
Okay.
I have it.
All right. All right. So there's a motion on the table. Anybody feel like seconding that one?
I'll second it.
All right. Further discussion, lively debate, insults? Okay. All in favor of the motion to continue 2022-2, say aye. Novak votes aye.
Stefik, aye.
Fitch, aye.
Okay. Opposed, none. Motion carries. It's continued. Thank you for your time, sir.
And thank you.
Let's see if we can find a way to get you through this thicket and keep Steve the bike guy in town. My 30-year-old bike needs him.
I hope.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Jeannie, what else do we have? Next meeting
Nothing.
time?
You just have to decide your next meeting.
What do we got
I-
coming at us?
I have a quick question.
Yep.
Will he need a finding?
I'm not sure. I think what he should do is come in with his new plan, and we will treat his new plan as an application for whatever zoning relief we figure out he needs. I don't think we should make him reapply or anything like that.
No, just because it's 59, the building's 59.6 feet or whatever. I don't know whether somebody was gonna be like push for the,
You know, if he comes in at 59.6 all the way across, and it's the same as the existing building, then I would say that's a mere exacerbation.
okay,
Right. Right.
great.
And so he'd be asking for that finding, but he doesn't have to reapply.
Okay. So when
Oh,
do you
I
want
see
to
you.
be?
Is this the only thing we have on, or do we have other stuff coming at us?
As far as I know, that's it.
All right. Well, we didn't ask Mr. Carrera when he wanted us to meet next, or how long he needed. That was my mistake.
I can ask him tomorrow and then send you an email and you guys can, I would think he wants to do it as soon as possible.
Okay, so why don't you do that? Ask him when he can be back. And we will circulate by email when we try to have a next meeting. How's that?
Okay.
Okay, I just want to note that I'm not available the week of the 28th of February.
Okay,
That whole week. I have some minor surgery.
All right. Well, good
Nothing
luck with your
serious.
surgery. That's more important, and we don't want you worrying about us.
And I have no idea what kind of shape I'll be in for the rest of the week, so I just like to blank out the week.
sounds good.
Sounds entirely fair. Another thing I meant to mention at the beginning, and you probably heard, the developer pulled the plug on Coolidge Crossing. Had you
No.
gentlemen heard that?
No.
Um,
Oh, man.
Several months ago, Pulte pulled the plug on the Pulte side of the project. And the town had been trying to work with Baystone and other developers to see if Humphrey could be put back together. And we got a letter, Jeannie, this week on Monday?
On Monday.
From Baystone saying they're sorry, but they're out. And I don't think it's a bluff. I don't think it's a game. I think they had a lot of money in this and really wanted to do it, and they're deeply disappointed. Apparently, the problem was
Too bad.
too much cost and delay on working the intermunicipal agreement out. I know that the select board had some people working on it. Marianne Neutra, and I have some confidence in her, so it sounds like it was just a bridge too far.
I don't think they're giving up as far as continuing to work on that with the towns,
Sure.
Marion and George, but
Right, no, it was definitely not a go to hell letter. It was a we're really sorry letter.
Yeah. I'm sorry
Um,
to hear that.
But it means we might get an opportunity to do more 40Bs, and wouldn't that be very special?
Yeah, that's
Well,
that's
that's
silver
the bright
lining.
side. That's the bright side of it.
oh, I think I might quit.
Oh,
You can't quit, Jeannie. We need you.
All right, so why don't I'll see if Bob would be ready like that first week in March, the week of the 7th, or you want to go the week after, Ron?
Maybe the week after.
Okay. The week of the 14th.
okay.
Okay,
All right.
Done.
All right. Move to adjourn.
I make a motion that we adjourn this meeting.
Second.
talk soon. Good night.
All in favor, aye. Novak votes aye.
Epic eye.
Pitch eye.
All
Good night,
right.
everyone.
We're
All right.
adjourned. Thank you all. Have a great evening.
Bye, thank you.